FHA SFR Appraising Handbook 4000.1, page 144. Field, highest and best use. Protocol, mark the appropriate box. This entry represents the highest and best use of the site as improved in relation to the neighborhood and current market conditions. If the current use represents the highest and best use, mark yes. If it does not, mark no and provide a detailed explanation. Field, utilities. Protocol, mark either public or other. If other is marked, describe. Public utilities mean governmentally supplied and regulated. Public does not include any community systems sponsored, owned, or operated by the developer or a private company not subject to government regulation or financial assistance. Note, if there are mechanical chlorinators or water flow that decreases noticeably while running simultaneous plumbing fixtures, visually inspect the septic system and its surrounding area. If there are obvious or readily observable signs of system failure, require inspection to ensure that the system is in proper working order. Note, the appraiser must indicate whether a public water or sewage disposal system is available to the site. If available, connection must be made to the public or community water/sewage disposal system if connection costs are reasonable. The mortgagee will determine whether connection is feasible. Off-site improvements. Type. Protocol. Briefly describe the off-site improvements under type and mark public or private. For example, street, asphalt, public, or alley, none. Public refers to an improvement dedicated to and accepted by a unit of government, not including HOAs. Field, FEMA, Special Flood Hazard Area. Protocol, FEMA is responsible for mapping flood hazard areas. If the property is within an SFHA, mark yes. Otherwise, mark no. Attach a copy of the flood map panel for properties located within an identified flood hazard area. Field, FEMA flood zone. Protocol, enter the FEMA zone designation. Only properties within SFHAs, such as Zones A, a special flood hazard area, or V, a coastal area, require flood insurance. Zones B, C, and X do not require flood insurance. Field, FEMA map number and FEMA map date. Protocol, enter the FEMA map number and map date. If it is not shown on any map, enter not mapped. Field, are utilities and offsite improvements typical for the market area? Protocol, mark the appropriate box indicating whether the utilities or off-site improvements are typical for the market area. If no is marked, explain why the utilities and or off-site improvements are not typical. Field, are site size, shape, and topography conforming? Protocol, mark the appropriate box indicating whether the site size, shape, and topography are generally conforming. 2, and acceptable in the market area. If no is marked, explain why and its impact on value and or marketability. Field, vehicular access. Protocol, mark the appropriate box indicating whether there is adequate vehicular access to the subject property. If no is marked, provide an explanation. Field, street maintenance. Protocol, mark the appropriate box indicating whether the street is properly maintained. If no is marked, describe the condition of the street, lack of all weather surface and or adequacy maintenance. Field, any adverse site conditions or external factors. Protocol, Mark the appropriate box indicating whether there are any adverse site conditions or external factors, easements, encroachments, environmental conditions, land uses, etc. If no is marked, no comment is necessary. If yes is marked, a detailed explanation is required. Describe any adverse site conditions or adverse factors. Consider easements affecting the functional utility of the property in the conclusions of both the highest and best use and market value. For example, discuss adverse easements, encroachments, slide areas, illegal or non-conforming zoning use, etc. Consider surface, subsurface, and overhead easements. List any adverse environmental conditions, including hazardous wastes, toxic substances, and others. Explain all deficiencies that do not require repair, extreme slope, etc., and consider them in the opinion of value. Discuss the observations with direct relationship to value and consider them in the approaches to value.